So we take it very seriously, and so it's been on my radar for a while, and I'm really hoping that those that the people rise up.
Yeah, I was laughing there because your camera had froze, but you're good now. I think you're good now. We might have a bit of lag. Is there a bit of lag? There is a bit of lag, isn't there? Let me reconnect you, Charlie. Right? Let me
Okay.
just reconnect you. Here we go. Jimmy, have we got lag?
No, you guys are sounding fine together, so no problems.
No, I noticed it glitched out a little minute.
Yeah, I
So
saw
it did.
that. He froze for a second.
There he is. He's coming back. There he is. We're live. I couldn't have that delay, dude. It was like you were up on the ISS. You know what I mean? I love you to bits, man, but that kind of time delay thing, I don't know. But you
Yeah.
mentioned America there. Every time we get together, dude, it just descends into more and more absurdity, right? Now, look, I'm going to sound like one of those 17th letter of the alphabet mobs for just a moment. And I stayed away from this for as long as I could until I had to pay attention. I mean, Joe Biden, he doesn't even know he's Joe Biden on a good day anymore, right? But what is this whole movie set thing all about?
Uh, I mean,
Like
it is.
you feel my pain. I sound like one of these 17th letter of the alphabet affected people, right? I'm not trusting no plans, but there's something hokey pokey about that. Not to mention his booster hokey pokey he got as well.
Yeah. It is. He's President Green Screen. Really.
It sounds like a
Everything
Marvel
about him's fake.
character, man.
Maybe it's the real Joe Biden. Maybe it's a guy with a different nose and a different hairline and everything. I don't know. I mean, I don't.
Don't get Jimmy started on the organic robotoids. Don't
Don't.
get him started.
Seriously. Yeah. So let's just put that off to the side for
Just
that
for a
Joe
moment.
Biden may or may not be an android. Okay. One thing that is certain is that, and I'm not trying to be a jerk about this either, because he's an older man, but he is unfit for that job. But to be fair, a lot of people would be unfit for that job. It's the hardest job in the world. We see what it does to people. It ages them. They spend 8 years in office. They look like they've spent 80 years. So even in the best of circumstances, it's a trying job. So we know he's unqualified physically for it, mentally for it. And yet here he is, right? And so we've got a green screen president who, there's questions about these press conferences that he's done outside, where he's walking in and allegedly by a helicopter. That was a couple months ago. There's questions, but he's taking this shot that may or may not be a fake shot, probably a fake shot, and he's doing it in a soundstage made to look like he's not in the Oval Office, but in a working office, where outside the window over his shoulder there's trees and it's daylight and there's blue sky and sunshine and all of that good stuff, right? Except that when they pull back, the picture is of that being on a set. Okay. Now there's nothing inherently wrong with that.
It's even in our media. It's even in like serious media in the UK, dude.
Yeah. So, I mean, just being on a set in and of itself doesn't necessarily mean anything. But the problem is that when you just you add this to like another piece and another piece and another piece, you start to get the impression that everything around this guy, I don't know if you've seen the pictures of the Oval Office, where it looks like it's some sort of stage that's been built.
Yeah.
Okay, so and then you hear the Tyler Perry conspiracy of it being the White House being rebuilt at like 2/3 size down at his studio in Georgia and all this stuff. Look, I don't know. I don't have the answers to this. Okay. I'm not sure what's going on. But the problem is there shouldn't be any questions about this. You know what I mean? That this is not the like there's plenty of questions when you become the president and what you're doing and how you're doing it, and all those things are worthy. But the fact that are you actually at the White House? That's a question that really should never be asked, right? It should just sort of be understood. And yet, where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? You know what I mean? Where is this guy? Is he around? Is he doing these things? Do we have, like, where's Kamala Harris? I mean, not that I really care, but like, she's supposed to be at the border. She blew that off, right? Where are these people? Is it better that they're gone? You know what I mean? Like, that's a real question we have to ask too. Like, is this the worst thing in the world that we don't know whether or not Joe Biden is actually around? But then again, if he's not in charge, who is? I mean, it's not. That might be a more devious conversation to have to figure out who the people are behind him.
The Illuminati. I'm telling you, man, it's the Illuminati of Gollum.
Yeah, I'm telling you. When is Camel Toe taking office? Kamala Harris.
As soon as they throw the android Joe Biden in front of a train on national TV, then Kamala Harris takes over. So,
and since I'm an equal opportunities basher of all politicians, at the same time, you've got General Flynn sending up prayers to the ascended masters of Madame Blavatsky and people like that. And at the same time, you've got Donald Trump speaking to the Moonies in the Unified Church. We are living in very absurd, strange times, Mr. Robinson. Very strange. He's lagged out again, hasn't he?
I think so.
I think he has. I think he's just leaving me hanging. It's a pregnant pause. I will bring you back, yeah. Charlie. We'll bring you back. Hold on. He's stoically. I'm gonna kick him off the call. Remove that man. Remove him.
He's stoically contemplating what you said.
It's like there's a good length of time where you can do that pregnant pause where it's kind of really profound, but then it gets to a level where it's just taking way too long and it starts to get ever so creepy, and then you realize that Charlie's frozen out. But what we're gonna do, ladies and gentlemen, I'm buzzing here today. So glad to be speaking to y'all on Aftermath FM. We're going to be doing some really cool stuff on here over the coming weeks and months ahead. Every Saturday, or like I say, technically a Sunday morning in the UK, 1 a.m., 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. And it's a bit more sociable down in Australia as well. You get an extra hour in bed. But I forgot they took an hour off your clock the other day, so hey, go figure. But Charlie is back with us. And Charlie, we're going to have a little musical interlude now. So we are. I'm going to play some tunes. Going to get a drink of juice, and then we're going to come back and we're going to get deeper into some of the absurdity, or should I say, some of the hypocrisy. So I will play us some music, chaps, and we will be back in just a moment. You're listening to Aftermath FM. Tell everyone about it. Aftermath.fm. Loads of live shows to choose from here. You get Jimmy Jeans all the way to Clyde Lewis, David Knight, so many more. Leo Zagami. Was listening to Leo Zagami earlier on today. He was on fire. And you can get that right here. I'm good at my Leo, Jimmy. I'm good at my Leo. But listen, everybody knows when you listen to the Kev Baker show, we often set sail for a place that I like to affectionately call Speculation Island. There's only one song that comes to mind when I'm thinking of our travels to Speculation Island. And it goes a little something like this.
Love, exciting and new. Come aboard. We're expecting you. And love, life's sweetest reward. Let it flow. It floats back to you. The love boat soon It's an open smile.
I see y'all rocking out there. You're loving it, man. You're loving it.
Oh, it's love. It's love.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You see, Charlie, it's going to get a little silly around here on the weekend. With it being the weekend, I like to think that we can hard hit the information that's out there, really impactful stuff for people to think about, but at the same time, give people a reason to laugh as well. And that is one thing I know that you are absolutely awesome at. He's the host of Macroaggressions. Check out his work over on the Octopus of Global Control. And there is a rumor, not like my rumors about KBS coming to Aftermath, an actual rumor that you were in the top 5 for political podcasts, Charlie. Did I see this correctly? Number 4?
That is true. Yes,
I'm
in the
raging.
government section.
I'm raging. What is wrong with you people out there in
Wow.
America? This guy should be number 1.
Wow.
Number 1. Yep.
Well, thank you. Yeah, what do you know? I just had a good little run there. I don't know how accurate that chartable is, but I'll take it. I'd probably be saying wildly inaccurate if I was like number 5,000 on that list, but
That's a good
hey,
dopamine squirt you get from something like that, man. The dopamine, the pleasure centers in the brain fire off. You know you're doing it right,
shit.
dude. Yeah, so listen, you
Yep.
wrote a chapter in the book.
It's
Now we're lagging out again.
we-
We're lagging out again. I'm going to reconnect you. I'm going to reconnect you, man. Hang on.
So it's because
I tell you.
he's in the secret location that he's in. Literally, he really is in a secret location right now, ladies and gentlemen. And
He's
because
under death threats of cancellation, and the wokies are after him, aren't they?
well, listen to this. See, he's got no signal in there, and that's the problem. Is his internet connection is because in there it's silent because you know what I mean? It's that type of room, ladies and gentlemen. He literally is coming from an undisclosed location in a bunker far, far away.
He's literally in a safe space.
He
He's
totally
in his
is.
own little safe space. He's back. There he is.
I'm in a safe room.
No, we were just saying that you're in a secure location somewhere in your bunker, and that you don't got that strong of a signal in there yet, simply because you're testing the new facility today here on the Kevin Baker Show on Aftermath.fm. So you sound great now, and let me back out, and I'll see you guys in a minute.
Well, that's all true. Yes.
There's Jimmy. Jimmy's back. No?
I'm here, but he's still on that other call.
Okay, I'm going to try and add him in.
All right.
Okay.
See, we moved.
Charlie's busy speaking to himself.
We got to go from one hub to the other. We jump port
Shove
to
your
port.
camera on, will you?
Yeah, we jump port to port, ladies and gentlemen, because we're the etheric bandits on Saturday afternoon right here on Aftermath FM with Kev Baker, the extra.
This is your fault. I blame you entirely for this,
I
Jimmy.
know.
If it wasn't for you,
I never
Billy
do.
Ray Valentine.
Hey, I never
Yeah.
do nothing wrong, but every time I get the blame.
And you do. There he is. He's back. Charlie. I'm
Charlie.
telling you, man, you're that safe and secure. You can't get an internet connection.
Yeah, apparently.
Now, my Skype reset as well, dude. It was like I wondered if the kill switch had been pulled. What did you make of the
Normally
world
that-
melting down when Facebook went offline the other day, man? Did you see them all charging over to Twitter looking for dopamine and the world's
Yeah.
ended.
Yo,
UK,
man,
they
get
had
some of
like-
that dopamine. Get some of them likes.
I'm sitting there and like breaking news, like, whoa, breaking news. It used to be like terror attacks or world leader might have passed. Now, Facebook goes down, global outage, and people are melting down.
The horror.
Was there a part of you wishing it would never come back? Because I know I was.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, those bastards, they threw me in Facebook jail 4 times in 2019 for posts that I made in 2017 that weren't even really bad. I mean, it's like I felt like saying, you're going to suspend me for this? Like this is mild
Me-
compared to some of the crazy things I've said on here,
Me and
but
Scotty Lopez and Popeye totally randomly all got removed from Facebook on the same day. And we're not exactly like crazy posting crazy stuff. Well, not too crazy, But what do you make of the Facebook whistleblower. I'm not impressed. Not
No.
impressed, man. She's a stooge, right?
She's a glowy, right? Is that what they call them?
A false
Fake
flag, man.
feds.
She is
You know?
definitely, she is up to no good. She was at Google before. And now she just
Yeah.
comes out and it's like, how dare a company put profits before censorship?
Well, like we've had whistleblowers on our show on Union of the Unwanted. Zach Voorhees, we've had him on a couple many times, I'm sure everybody knows who he is. He was the Google whistleblower. I mean, what happens when you have a real whistleblower on is that they try desperately to not put you on television, not the other way around. They try to censor you and make you look crazy and discredit you any way they can. They don't put you in front of Congress like 2 days later and give you a blue check mark and do all this stuff, roll out the red carpet for you when you're whistleblowing against one of the most powerful corporations that was funded by InQtel, the venture capital arm of the CIA. Are you crazy? When you come out with allegations against them that are credible, your car blows up or something. You know what I mean? At least in the old days, that's how they used to do it. So you're going to tell me that this lady is just walked to the front of the line? I mean, forgive me for being a tiny bit suspicious. I mean, does Facebook have a problem with all this stuff? Yeah, absolutely. But this just has limited hangout written all over it. It also has one of the things that I noticed, which is kind of like a harkening back to the old Rockefeller days when it's like, oh no, don't threaten to regulate me, US government that I already currently own, wink, wink. Don't break me up into 18 different pieces so that each one of these pieces can be more powerful, just like when they broke up the Rockefellers and Standard Oil and all this stuff. Oh, please don't throw me in the briar patch and regulate me with that pipeline that goes from the White House to Facebook. You know that pipeline there. I put a big chart in my new book Hypocrisy about that. The Obama to Facebook pipeline is strong. Okay, if you're appealing to authority in the government to regulate you, that's because you have control of the government, period. That's why they're doing this. So what it will do to benefit Facebook is it will regulate everybody else that doesn't have those ties out of existence, or will prevent them from ever gaining any traction to get going, any parlors or Gabs or whatever. So that's part of the strategy. It locks out competition under the guise of regulating themselves, but it doesn't really work as a pure form of regulation when your regulator is also your business partner.
Yeah, Jimmy, she seems like David Icke. Myself and Charlie always talk about how we both were into David Icke and we listened to a lot of his stuff. Charlie's been over there on the network as well, iconic.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about problem, reaction, solution. And she's like the classic one for me. Oh, look at the problem. We're damaging society. We need the government to come in. And over here in the UK, we've got all the sports stars that are on there crying from their millionaire mansions about how their feelings are getting hurt because people are nasty to them on the internet. Oh, no. I feel a dark day coming, Jimmy. More internet regulations, man.
Well, that is without a doubt, and I think you guys should get into some of that too, that discussion, because that's coming. But I want to point out here, this is a classic con artist move right here. Okay, so listen, the con is about to be exposed, and the con team knows it. They know it. They know they busted us, right? So what we're gonna do when you get busted is what you do is you get out in front of it, okay, and you admit to things that you can deal with, but that the public will still find infuriating. And then you run some candidate out there like this so-called whistleblower. If I was really going to grind an axe on this woman simply because Kevin and I examined her empathically the other day, and she looks stiff and she looks like an ex-DARPA employee to me, but Above and beyond that, if I was going to look into the person, the first thing you want to look at is to find out if they ever did any overseas volunteer work in foreign countries as, I don't know, an interpreter or something like this, because you'll see to find that a lot of times these operators, they start out uh, early on in their careers helping out in foreign countries, and then that's how you meet international players and get yourself into the game, into the company. But you guys always mention this. Now, what do you guys think about that? Now, she doesn't seem to me to be anybody that's really saying anything other than agreeing exactly with the storyline of the script that's going around right now, which is, we need to censor that hate. The thing is who decides, Kev Baker and Charlie? Who decides what is hate?
The Watchers, Charlie. They're everywhere, man. Orwell's coming. It's here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the removal of words in order to shape reality. We just saw this. I put the list in the new book, the list of all the terms that the House representatives here in the United States passed recently, a new law or new rule that these terms are not to be spoken in the House. Mother, father, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, wife, husband, stepfather, father-in-law, brother-in-law, all these terms to describe the family. Why? Why? This is a pressing issue. We need to all of a sudden change the rules to do this. Why? Was this creating problems? Or was it defining components of the family? And if you want to break apart the family, what better way to do that than to remove the words that you use to describe the family? I mean, this is some straight up Orwell shit right here. And it's being met with thunderous applause by the dumbed down public, which is crazy to me. If they even are aware of what's going on, they don't understand. They don't understand the ramifications of this. They don't understand how devious this is. They don't understand. They're expecting violence to be the thing that's the most fearful thing. They have no idea how powerful language is.
As my good friend Doc
Words.
McCairn says, this is the total subversion of the worst of the West. Sorry, but I don't often find myself agreeing with any politician. Right? I take this as a bit of a semi-victory, and nobody will talk about it. It'll disappear before too long. But I was listening to this earlier on. Catch this, guys. This is a Tory MP says using the term white privilege should be reported as extremism. Jonathan Gullis also urges sacking of teachers who criticise the Conservative Party in the classroom. That's going a little bit too far, but at least somebody is talking a bit of sense, because this whole critical race theory that we hear so much about when it comes to the US, oh, they're pushing it hard over here now, man. And again, it's a total subversion, right?
It's cultural subversion.
Yep.
Right, Jimmy? That's what this is. It's a form of cultural subversion.
Yeah, well,
just dressed up as manners.
But the thing is like we look into the future and we can see that this lexicon that's being changed now is the lexicon of the future. It's a lexicon where having children is no longer a form of just being together with your significant other and having a baby. Now you'll have to go to the administrative board to figure out how much carbon footprint is in your neighborhood, and if you can have one more child now. You'll have to go get permission, and then when you do, will the person even carry the baby at that point, or will you just have a child delivered that's been you're taking from your DNA and your husband's and your sperm and mixing it in the egg and mixing it together, and then you get this baby delivered to you. Maybe that's what it's going to be like. Because, I mean, we're at a point where in our lives where, well, hey, when the government wants to intervene in our health, well, who are we to stand in their way, Charlie? Who are we?
Listen, you will own nothing. You will not have children, and you're going to love it. You're gonna love every minute of it. I'm going full Schwab mode. That's it. It's a great reset.
bugs,
Embrace
Kev.
it, guys. Embrace it. You know, you got to welcome this big reset. It's along with a great awakening. You know, I'm obviously being very sarcastic. Very sarcastic.
Well, Charlie and Kev, are we in a world now where um, no more mothers and fathers?
Don't you've just offended people? There's like swathes of people around the world right now have been just butthurt by you saying that.
Do we just turn? Let me just ask you this: Do we just? How about we fund the children? In other words, we pay for everything, but we just turn them over to the state and let the state just run everything for us. How about that? We just turn
Well,
them
over here in Scotland, man, they're trying to make 26 years old. They want you to be deemed a child up until the age of 26. And that means if you like murder somebody at, say, the age of 25, you'll be tried as a child because you haven't got the mental capacity of an adult at that point.
It doesn't surprise me.
No, this is like craziness, total craziness.
Charlie,
I live in
It doesn't.
an upside down wonderland, man.
It doesn't surprise me at all because I mean, look at the difference in society now. Because when you were 18 years old back in the day, when it was 18, you sign up to go join the military. It's 18, you can vote. It used to be it's 18, you can drink. But an 18-year-old back in the day was, a lot more mature because of what they've gone through up until that point than I would say the current configuration of our civilization and social engineering, because the children of today don't go outside, step on a rake, and get hit in the face with your stick, and then you learn don't step on a rake. All the mistakes, when you die in a video game, you can come back, So,
No, dude, it's just as well because I'm getting really sucky at video games, man. You get to a certain age and it's crap, totally crap.
We have maturity inflation, right? So where we were at 18, now that mentality is like you got to be 26.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
what has it done is we've been kept in this perpetual state of adolescence with this constant barrage of dopamine. We are just so doped up on dopamine that we just never leave the child phase, because dopamine is for the pleasure centers, and the internet is a pleasure center for us, and so children do nothing but follow their pleasure, right? So I mean, are we kept in a perpetual psychological adolescent state? You guys, what do you think about that? Because
Well, I'm showing on the screen just now. We're running out of time, Jimmy, and I know it's an hour-long show. It's quick. We're almost out of here, man. But in case people think I'm lying, I don't need to make things up. Here's a story from the Sunday Times. Raise the age of young offenders to 26. It says Karen McCloskey. This is a leading expert
Unfortunate
on
name.
tackling violent crime, has supported a plan to raise the age of young offenders to 26, saying that it reflects the latest understanding of when the brain comes to maturity. Now, this is where it gets almost like she's a hypocrite, right? Do you know why? Because, well, the SNP gave 16-year-olds the right to vote. Because at 16, you're mature enough to be having a say-so in who runs the country, especially when you're just out of the SNP indoctrination centres. Because there's a joke in Glasgow, if you want to find your local MP, don't go to their office. Just go to the nearest school. Go to the nearest school. Because, hey, make of it what you will, folks. They hang around children too much. I won't go any further than that. And of course, right now in Glasgow, smart city Glasgow, we're planting about 70 million trees. Greta Thunberg is having a wet dream about all of it. COP26 is coming to town. Dude, I have been thrust into the centre of clown world. The next few weeks is going to be dramatic content coming on the Kev Baker Show YouTube channel, because I do intend to go out and film the very worst aspects of these climate protesters. See what I'm saying?
I love Extinction Rebellion. They're my
Oh
favorite.
man, there's people gluing themselves to roads and
Yeah, it's so funny.
I
They
don't
have
know.
no idea. I want to bullhorn them with the Limits to Growth by Club of Rome. Just just Alex Jones them with a bullhorn and just read that document, read that book to them while they're glued and they can't move. Just be like, you're getting conned.
That's the latest YouTube like hot topic that they're really clamping down now on anyone who disagrees. I mean, imagine disagreeing with scientists, right? I mean,
Yeah,
'cause
that'd be
scientists
crazy.
are all. I mean, come on, flatten the curve a couple of weeks. They always get it right. The scientists. Daring to question is now going to get you kicked off YouTube.
Hey Kev,
Go figure.
hang up on that other call that was going. I think that other call is still going. I'm
There's
not.
no other call here going, dude.
No? Okay. I just want
No.
to say I was getting a message here and I'm just responding. So, anyway, sorry about that.
Hey, see, this is how he says to me earlier on. Don't worry, Kev. I won't horn my way in. I've never heard that term before, but that was definitely horning his way in there, wasn't it? Wasn't it? So, Charlie, I was going to ask you, one chapter in the book that caught my eye is all about wars.
Yeah.
What's your take on all of that? Afghanistan in there, I would imagine.
Yeah, man. Oh, I mean, it's just the whole everything about it is so disgusting. You know, our foreign policy, the things that we prioritize, you know, the things that we can afford, things that we can't afford, the $400,000 F-35 fighter jet helmet. Each one of the helmets costs $400,000, you know. The way we spend money on, you know, on all the programs, it's disgusting. But you know, I think one of the more dangerous components of it is the privatization of it. You know, how one of the largest industries on the planet has to do with the destruction of people through
Well,
the building of bombs and
I'm
missiles.
really interested in this kind of thing. I was reading about Eric Prince in
Yeah.
my looking into the alt-right and some of the people behind it all. And he talks about, of course, and for anyone out there who doesn't know what I'm talking about, think Blackwater, change the name to Z, think Iraq, all that good stuff. But he talks about like delivering like war, like a box. You've got you get your propaganda, you get your fighters, your mercenaries, you get the people who come in and build the infrastructure out. And like you say, it's the privatization of mass killing.
Disgusting. And yet it's one of the biggest industries in the world. And so when your bottom line, your profit, your reason for existing has to do with the destruction of people, then you are going to always be creating the justification for more destruction of people. And so they create boogeymen in order to justify these $1 trillion military expenses. We simultaneously tell everyone that they've got to be disarmed inside the United States while being the largest weapons dealer on the planet. You know, so the hypocrisy is staggering, and you know, there's just a lot of people profiting off of all of these wars, and so I do that. I itemize that. I point it out. I try to document it as best I can to show why corporate media is always pushing for wars, why they will, you know, have never met a war that they didn't want your son to go die in. You know, so just the disgusting nature, this confluence between the mainstream media and the military industrial complex, which is the reason why every now and then you'll see a commercial on at the Super Bowl, you know, a $4 million ad for Lockheed Martin, and you're going, who's in the market for buying a jet? And you realize it's not a advertisement, it's a bribe, it's a thank you, it's a tip for having our back, you know. And so we talk about things like that in the book, and because they need to be talked about, because I don't think a lot of people really are thinking about why there is a war industry and how absolutely massive it is. You're talking about like $1,000 billion a year flows into this. It's crazy. So yeah, it's meant to get people thinking, but I also come at it with my dark sense of humor too. So expect to find that in the book, and I think the people will appreciate that because listen, man, you got to laugh at some of this shit. It's crazy.
You have
know.
to. You have to. Now, listen, folks. I understand there was maybe music playing in the background today. You were listening on Aftermath FM.
Clown music,
Clown music. It would be
circus
funny.
music.
I think it might actually have been the Love Boat, the album, you know. But hey, it is what it is. Listen, I've had a blast here today with Charlie. You can check him out over at the Octopus of globalcontrol.com. Macroaggressions. Follow him on Twitter. Always scathing. I always like coming across your latest tweets, man. It's always on point. But I want to plug the next shows coming up right here on your Aftermath FM as well. We have got the Paradigm Shift coming up from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. That'll be on the West Coast, I believe. And then right after that, my good friend, I love this guy a bit. I think you love him as well. In fact, we were on his 9/11 special together. I tell you, I was feeling out of place there, Charlie. You got you sitting there, Tony Adderburn, Don Jeffries. Dude, what a lineup. John Brisson, Billy Ray Valentine. I'm thinking, I'm the guy that talks about the Loch Ness Monster. What am I doing here? So listen, you can catch him on America Unplugged right here on Aftermath FM. I'll be back next week, same time. I don't know who we're going to have on next week. It'll be a surprise, but that's what weekends are going to be like here. We're going to have fun. We're going to get into some really serious topics as well. I'm enjoying it. I hope you're all going to enjoy it out there. I'm really thrilled to be a part of this new network over here. Doing really, really well. It's an honor to be on the same airwaves as Clyde Lewis. I remember going on Clyde's show a couple of times. It's the most nerve-wracking experience I've ever had. Now to be on the same network as him, well, I don't know. The universe, it works in mysterious ways. Before we leave today, Charlie, let people know when they can hear your podcast. And you're worse than COVID, dude. Worse than COVID, because you're literally everywhere on the internet and everyone's allowed to talk about you. You see that? Like that?
Well, you can catch my show Macroaggressions in audio format wherever podcasts are served and in video format on David Icke's platform Iconic, over on Rockfin, definitely on Odyssey, sometimes on YouTube. And you can find my book, Hypocrisy, on Amazon, HYPOCRAZY, Hypocrazy. And or you can check out my website.
Actually, looks like Jimmy Jeans. Did you get Jimmy to do the cover? Is that Jimmy?
Jimmy Jean was the inspiration for the cover. Yes, that's true. I can confirm that.
I love it.
I wanted Jimmy Jean, Uncle Sam.
Charlie, thank you so much for being.
Thank you for having me as your first guest. I am honored.
No, man, the honor is all mine, dude. You're awesome, folks. If you ain't following Charlie, you really are doing yourself a disservice. I love this guy. Don't agree with him on everything, but that's okay, because that's how the world works. And if you want to know more about how the world really works, Charlie Robinson, Macroaggressions, and right here on Aftermath FM. Don't forget, coming up after this crazy Scotsman has left you in just a moment, we have got, I believe, the Paradigm Shift coming to you all live from New York
That's right.
City. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in today. I'll be back here same time, same place next week. Aftermath FM, shit just got real. KBS Extras over here now. I'm going to love you. I'm going to leave you. We are out of here.
I don't know if you can see the changes that have come over me in these last few days. I've been afraid that I might drift away. So I've been telling old stories, singing songs that make me think about where I came from. That's the reasons why I seem so far away today. Oh, and let me tell you that I love you, that I think about you all the time. Caledonia, you're calling me, and now I'm going home. If If I should become a stranger, you know that it would make me more than sad. Caledonia's been everything I've ever had. Oh, and I have moved and I've kept on moving. I've proved the points that I needed proving. Lost the friends that I needed losing. Found